The auction house on Centauri Prime was the most exclusive in the galaxy. Rare artifacts, exotic technologies, priceless treasures from 1,000 worlds, all exchanged hands beneath its crystalline domes. The wealthy and powerful came from across the Empire to bid on things that couldn't be bought anywhere else. On the evening of standard date 2847.3, auctioneer Vriloth presented Lot 317. Two human girls, ages 8 and 10, taken from a destroyed colony ship. The opening bid was 50,000 credits. The final bid was 12 million. Vriloth considered it a successful night. The Empire's elite had paid handsomely for such rare specimens. Human children were exotic, after all, trainable, entertaining. The transaction was broadcast across Imperial networks as entertainment. Billions watched. They saw it as proof of humanity's weakness, their proper place in the galactic hierarchy. They didn't realize they were watching their own death warrant being signed. The broadcast reached Earth 8 hours later. President Catherine Morrison watched the footage in her office, surrounded by her cabinet. She watched those two little girls, Emma Chun and Maria Rodriguez, standing on that platform in chains, tears streaming down their faces as alien aristocrats bid on them like livestock. She watched it twice. Then she stood, her face carved from stone. Recall every ship, every soldier, every asset we have in known space. Her voice was quiet, deadly. We're going to war. Madam President, her military advisor began. The Empire has thousands of worlds, billions of soldiers. I don't care if they have 1 trillion soldiers. Morrison cut him off. They just sold our children. There's no negotiation. No diplomacy. We're going to burn their empire to ash and bring those girls home. The vote in the Human Confederation Congress was unanimous. Every nation on Earth, every colony world, every corporate entity, all agreed. Va. Total war. Kind humanity hadn't waged since they'd unified 3 centuries ago. The Empire had made one catastrophic miscalculation. They thought humanity valued territory, resources, power. They didn't understand that humans valued their children above everything else. Above their own lives. Above entire civilizations. Touch a human child, and you don't fight an army. You fight the entire species. The war began at dawn. Every human warship, over 10,000 vessels, jumped simultaneously into Imperial space. No warnings, no demands. They emerged from hyperspace already firing, targeting military installations, government centers, and every single slave market in the Empire. The first target was Centauri Prime. Admiral James Hawkins led the assault personally. His fleet of 300 ships descended on the pleasure world like the wrath of God. The auction house where Emma and Maria had been sold was vaporized in the first strike. Not as punishment. Hawkins didn't care about punishment yet. He just wanted to make sure no records were lost in the fighting. The planetary defense grid lasted 4 minutes. Ground forces deployed immediately. Marines kicked down doors of every estate, every mansion, every luxury compound. They had one mission: find the girls. Anyone who resisted was eliminated. Anyone who helped was spared. It took 6 hours to find them. Emma and Maria were discovered in the vault of Imperial Duke Zarthon, locked in a gilded cage like pets. The Marines who found them wept as they cut the chains. Duke Zarthon tried to flee. He made it 3 steps before a bullet found him. The girls were evacuated to the flagship Remembrance, given medical attention, warm food, and calls to their families. Emma's mother collapsed when she heard her daughter's voice. Maria's father couldn't stop saying, "Thank you. Now we finish this," he said coldly. Every world that participated, every official who allowed it, every single being who bid on those children. I want their names, their locations, their families. We're going to teach the galaxy what happens when you touch human children. The war lasted 2 years. The Centauri Empire, which had stood for 3,000 years, ceased to exist. 47 worlds surrendered. 8 were left uninhabitable as examples. Every slave market in Imperial space was destroyed, every captive freed. The Galactic Council tried to intervene, calling humanity's response disproportionate. President Morrison's response was broadcast across every civilized world. You want proportionate? Don't sell our children. We will burn the galaxy before we let that happen again. No species ever tested that promise. Emma and Maria grew up on Earth, surrounded by family and love. They became ambassadors in their 20s, traveling the galaxy to ensure no child, human or alien, would ever stand on an auction block again. The Empire had thought humans were weak because they valued their young so much. They learned too late. That's exactly what made humanity unstoppable, that Triclawed can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.